The upcoming update on the Ripple vs. SEC lawsuit will get all the cryptocurrency enthusiasts a new feeling of adventure. Yes, the bars are high on SEC this time, and it appears that the matter is not going to keep up for long. Do you want to know how? Make sure to watch this video till the very end and find out how to double the money you have invested or will invest in XRP. In today's video, we are going to discuss the new developments on the case, which might interest you because, according to the updates, the SEC should likely surrender as they do not have any more scope to win this lawsuit. Articles all around the internet are talking about how the SEC is left with no option, as the draft email by the former SEC Director William Hinman has landed them with no other option. Well, this is going to be interesting, you guys. So, make sure to enable the notifications, drop a like on this video, comment below your suggestions and thoughts about the case. And wait, before we begin, just let you all know that please conduct your own research or consult an expert in this regard to make better investments in cryptos. Well, with that being said, shall we begin now? At the end of 2020, the Securities and Exchange Commission sued Ripple Labs and its executives for making transactions of XRP as securities and evading taxes levied by the SEC, claiming that the fintech company was selling XRPs, violating the federal securities law. Since then, it has been a year that the company and the agency are indulged in a never-ending legal battle. Matters have been crucial as this lawsuit involves the future of the digital space and governmental regulations. Hence, for the decentralized concept of the crypto market to survive, the fintech company has to win. Well, the evidence directly points towards the lacking factor concerning the SEC. Like a lot of documents are yet to be produced by the agency, and time and again, the agency has ignored a few material facts in the case. Through the discovery process, Ripple has asked for many documents detailing the internal SEC communications and policies. Till the very end, SEC representatives contended that these documents were protected underprivileged documents, therefore cannot be revealed. However, the judge thought otherwise. Magistrate Judge Sarah Netburn is of the opinion that these documents are important for effective verdict delivery in this case. Only a few documents are protected under the privilege, but the others must be presented by the regulator to turn over. And these documents include the email with Hinman's speech and a few notes from the staff meetings between the SEC and the third parties. Well, now that the judge has ordered the regulator to release many of the important documents which they have been claiming as privileged, the proponents with Ripple are highly bullish on the fintech company price recovery, and we expect a good bullish price uptrend. William Hinman's speech regarding Ethereum not being secure has been in controversy ever since the start of this lawsuit. However, the judge has ruled that such speech and documents relevant for the advancement of this case must be surrendered by the Securities Exchange Commissions, which would reveal a lot of hidden activities on the part of the SEC. Ripple has for a long time argued that Hinman's speech would provide a substantial basis to the lawsuit and could turn out to be instrumental in striking fair notice provided by the SEC. We understand that a lot of people might not recognize the importance of Hinman's speech, but in this lawsuit, the speech has turned out to be the key material holding the entire Ethereum community in question, bringing in the class action of thousands of Ethereum holders and millions of cryptocurrency stakeholders, whose cryptos are built on the Ethereum blockchain. The agency has been arguing that Ripple's XRP is a security, and a lot of traders and investors have been unknown about the altcoin's position since its beginning 2013. This could be a legit argument, but unfortunately for the SEC, the speech by William Hinman on the status of Ethereum in 2018 unleashed many loopholes and potential counterarguments on the SEC's stand. Well, let's look into other positive catalysts that could make the case stronger against the SEC. The judge asked for an email draft of Hinman's speech, which is tangible evidence from 2018 by the former director of corporation finance as included in the speech, where he was found telling the audience at a conference that Ethereum was not a security, matching exactly the arguments by the fintech company. For the effective discovery of the matter, the speech has been seen as pivotal for the entire crypto industry. Ether, which is the second largest cryptocurrency and a landmark cryptocurrency whose blockchain literally forms the basis of a massive portion of the market, is at stake with his lawsuit. Given that nearly the first 60 million Ether, the native cryptocurrency of Ethereum, was sold to raise funds for the Ethereum Foundation to work for its latest updates, Ethereum is present, seen as a commodity in the United States market, especially when the Commodity Future Trading Commission has been overseeing the derivatives products based on the cryptocurrency. The Securities Exchange Commission, even after arguing that Hinman's speech was something standing on these personal beliefs and not reflecting the agency's ideology, it must be understood that at the time when Hinman was making this speech, he was an effective part of the agency. Hence, every ounce of his speech impliedly reflects the agency's ideologies. In the 23-page ruling, Judge Sarah Netburn explained on the SEC's contention that Hinman's speech was protected by privilege. The court said, the personal views of agency employees are not protected by the privilege unless they bear on the formulation or exercise of policy-oriented judgment. Accordingly, emails concerning the speech or draft versions are neither pre-decisional nor deliberative agency documents entitled to protection. Along with the email, a separate mail was also sent by the Office of the Chief Counsel for Corporation Finance the day before his speech, but that email was considered by the court to be turned in along with the draft speech. Judge Sarah Netburn clarified that the documents related to SEC staff's legal analysis of XRP contained the SEC's staff preliminary views during the Division of Enforcement's investigation into XRP and did not present a recommendation to the SEC, and that these documents were prepared for the investigation into XRP, and therefore qualify as the kind of pre-decisional and deliberative legal analysis the deliberative process privilege protects. Therefore, according to the judge, the SEC is also not required to turn up notes from meetings between SEC personnel and Ripple, as well as interagency conversations. Along with the ordered documents contained communications between the SEC crypto czar Valerie Szczepanik as well as the U.S. Treasury Department office, accompanied with the presentation she made for Michael Piowar, the former SEC commissioner. So, overall, the Ripple has to receive access to 14 entries and an additional 3 documents, which we believe would be highly beneficial for a decree in this case. This has a high possibility to help XRP's falling price, which is at $0.75 with a red trade of 3.38%. But there's nothing to worry about because the price ought to increase. Just keep faith in the community and the justice system. The crucial resistance of XRP needs to cross is at 80 cents, which XRP is likely to keep up by the beginning of February. Till then, hold on to your XRPs to receive the long-term benefit. Thank you for watching. Please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on the post notifications so that you don't miss out on any new updates. Also, comment below your suggestions. Till then, keep investing.